Hi, I just need to continue what I spoke about at my last time. I think it was last week. I think you called on me as well. I'm very concerned that you're not doing anything about the child trafficking cult of Scientology. Um, we have cults that are being busted all over the country, and there is obvious things that's going on. And there was a book written by Jamie Mustard called Child X. And I think that you guys are going to get a copy of that so you can read all about the abuse of little babies that was going on under your noses in Los Angeles. These babies were born into the cult from single parents. And then the babies were put in little baby boxes, like a factory, like, you can look at it like those things in China, little girls lined up with no care, no love, no nothing, just no kind of interaction, and this happened. And you also had people, in the blue buildings putting help signs in the window and not having any kinds of investigations because you took the word for it from the people that you've been heavily influenced by, that you did not even go into even under what I would consider exigent circumstances. I would hope that you're doing an internal investigation of that incident and reviewing it thoroughly, because you really totally have a dereliction of your duties as a police officer, as a whole department, as a whole. Like, don't you guys think about what's happening with that person that had the help sign? And there is actually a documented video of the sign in the window. Um, they don't know that trafficking sign. If they don't know how to exposure to that hand signal, that is very well known that you can Google. So, you know, I think that you should also, as a department, should distribute those trafficking signs to the cult of Scientology, so people can actually maybe communicate with you, and that we can see things in windows if people are doing that hand signal. It's very important that you get educated on what's been going on under your nose. It's very upsetting that nothing has been done, that these other places and abusive cults have been brought to justice, or are in the process of being brought to justice, and that we have to stop the slave labor in the city of Los Angeles.
Great job, Amy. So I want to start off by saying that it's really disrespectful to limit public comment to 45 minutes. People take off from work to be here. And you guys are constantly, even though you have maybe 3 or 4 meetings straight, usually cancel every other week. All right? It's disrespectful to limit our voices. If you do that, we will show up at your house and we will do it there. Now, you guys are talking about your recruiting problem. I listened to today. You guys are down about 100 cops over the last year. You guys have tried all types of strategies to boost recruitment, giving $15,000 signing bonuses. You have the foundation paying their rent, all types of shit, and you're still failing at recruiting. Good, good. I'm going to tell you right now, you guys are going to continue having that problem. First off, if your cops join the LAPD, let them know what they have coming to them. They have a profile coming to them from watchthewatchers.net, where they'll list all the information, and now includes disciplinary action. That's the information you want out there about yourself, being a cop, that's what you're going to get. But, you have these struggles. I went to the CPAB meeting a couple months ago. The captain there was telling me, oh, it's the media's fault. It's the media's fault that we're having problems recruiting. It's not the media's fault. It's your own fault. The media is just playing videos of you guys acting like fucking savages. So don't blame anybody but yourself. I'll say it again. 52% of the population are women, and 18% of the LAPD are women. We got a woman problem. I heard that caller call in, talking about all types of harassments and affairs that are going on in your department. That's going unchecked. That's going unchecked. It's going unchecked by this guy. Let me tell you about this guy right here, soldering pool. All right, this guy, you might think he runs the LAPD. He doesn't. He has abdicated his duties to Dominic Choi, and everybody in this room knows who's a cop. This guy right here, I don't know if he's sundowning. I don't know what it is, but you don't run anything. What a waste of a pick for a chief you have been. Now, I know there's also an issue with the Kingdom Parade, where a guy who's been running it for 40 years had it taken away from him to give it to Karen Bass's good buddy. That's fucking disgusting. You guys need to correct that and fix that.
Mhm.
Now, you talked about guys driving drunk, cops driving drunk. You guys familiar with Michael Hensley? Michael Hensley got caught. He got in an accident driving twice the legal limit of alcohol. Put 2 people in the hospital, charged with like 10 felonies under Gascon. The new guy comes in and he gives them, drops it all and gives them 1 misdemeanor, some probation, and he's back on the fucking force. And he's back on the force. Address your alcohol problem.
Hey, good morning. I also want to continue about the Kingdom Day Parade and Dr. Dove. I was able to go to both appeals. And the problem I have as I looked into it is that the person who, I mean, Dr. Dove, he put it in his thing 6 months. They said it was before 6 months. So he had to put it in again, and he did. And then he found out that somebody else, Mr. Bakewell, Mayor Bass's friend, also put it in, and that it was awarded to Mr. Bakewell, even though they were promised they would get a full investigation with a report and everything as to who should win. But basically it was given to Mr. Bakewell just because he got it in a day earlier, which is not in the municipal code that it's anything time related. That first come, first serve is not written in there. And so I was looking into it more, and it looks like Mr. Bakewell, is so important. Like he was named in the tapes that, where Miss Nuri had to step down from, he was named as a power broker, not anything insulting, but that he's a power broker. And he was also asked to be part of the group that helped pick the new chief. So right there, that's a bias, okay, or implied bias or perceived bias for any of us. Because if he had anything to do with picking the chief, then how is LAPD then being the deciding factor in who gets whether he gets his permit or not? And I spoke at both appeal hearings. And Mr. Django, I asked them they need to renounce, to not, I can't think of the word right now, I'm sorry, but they should not have continued. There is no reason for LAPD. You have to put it outside, and I'm asking the OIG to please look into this, because LAPD should not be deciding if this man who basically stole a permit, from someone who's had it for 40 years because he got in a day early. That's not fair. He was invited to help pick the chief because he's very good friends with the mayor. That does not give us confidence. It needs to be remanded. That decision needs to be remanded. Everything needs to be redone, and it needs to go into an agency or someone that can decide it fairly, or just give it to Dr. Dove, who's had it for 40 years and who deserves. And he said it was his last one. So why would you take it from his last one and give it to a guy because he got there a day early? Now I want to get on to, I am always here for Scientology. Again, asking Chief, please get them off of your CPABs. I don't know, I can't say it enough that they pay their people $47 a week, okay, for over 110 hours of work a week. And when Janet Wheeland is at your CPAB, she's working and she's making $47 a week. That is inhumane. They do it because they're committed, but as decent human beings here, we should not allow this. Thank you.
So I see more and more every day, every meeting, every situation, every person, every schedule I go to, the internal structure of the LAPD and the board is very similar to Scientology. It's super hard to face a board when the leader of the board, for example, the permit commission the other day, when we were all fighting to get the MLK parade permit back for them, for Dr. Dove. The board members were talking and laughing in between, the speakers cut off the public commenters. You were there. It was so manipulative. Why have a board when everybody's already being swayed to say a certain thing or a thing? It's the same thing here. That's what happens in Scientology. That's how they've come out multiple deaths in Los Angeles over the last 40 years. Why are there still people like my father, $37 a week, not a day, $37 a week? And then they go and put that money in the canteen and their tampons and their underwears and their personal things. So that money goes right back into Scientology. This is slave labor. And here you are, a board's just going, oh, we're so sorry after 40 years. Guess who helped get that fucking permit, the parade? Guess who's all a part of that? Janet Whelan. Guess who, when the parade people told them they no longer, they didn't want to associate with Scientology. Guess what happened? Now, they were fucking parade is being told that they're not all their work because of a permit. That's so biased. That's so fucked up. How is anything gonna get done? So others, you were not here last time, we had a meeting, if you can pay attention, this is directly to you. This book is written by Jamie Ruster, he specifically has a letter inside of it directed to you. And this is about a man born and raised, a black man, if that makes it easier for you, born and raised in the cult of Scientology in Los Angeles as a baby. And not only did this happen to him, but to every other child and adults, Janet Whelan, that are currently still in the brainwashed deformation of Scientology. So either you wake up, somebody here on the board, wake up and start saying, all right, that's it, we're gonna fucking start flipping this fucking gay organization. Your similarities are very similar. Scientology is a gang hiding behind a religious organization. You guys are doing the same. This is evidence of it, this is not against, but you please, I demand you to read it. You will think differently.